if we're moving to a crisis point, because we got the intel where the hostage is, or we have information where the shooting is taking place because we hear it, we're moving to the threat. So you're gonna bypass and give up a lot. When single man CQB, you're doing that often. So it's about your priorities. So imagine that we're walking from this location to a crisis point that is at the end of my store. If I bypass an open door, there's a few ways you could do it. But the cool advantage of retracted gun done right is that I could clear with the barrel of my gun, having a shooting solution, where my eyes identify the threat. If you look into a room and you see a dude who's an immediate threat, like a barrel of a gun, you're just dead, because you have no shooting solution. This is the body, like straight up. Clear the space with my eyes, come back here, extend, and continue to roll.
I'm gonna explain why this definitely isn't a shooting solution and why nobody could guarantee hits when passing by the threshold in this way. I don't want you to take my word for it, so I'm gonna tell you what you need to do to test this for yourself. I'm gonna make a series of videos on this particular concept, so make sure you're subscribed and do all the algorithm stuff down below. I'm gonna start with probably the most important issue, and that's marksmanship. You might be thinking that hitting a target inside a room while passing by the threshold boils down to an individual user's capability. While that's true to a certain degree, in this case we need to pay particular attention to the human ability. The average time it takes someone to see something, make a decision, and react is about 0.25 to 0.3 seconds. You can test your reaction time through the link in the description. That being said, I think we can all agree that staring at your phone, waiting for the color to change, and tapping the screen can be done faster and is less difficult than identifying a person in a room that's partially available at variable distances, determining whether or not they are armed, and then delivering the round to that target. In fact, it takes you much longer to do all of that than the reaction time can demonstrate, and that's because the reaction test clock stops when you click a mouse or touch the screen. In our situation here, the clock stops when the trigger is pulled. That means after we see the stimulus, we still need to complete a ready up drill. If we use GBRS Group's ready up drill standard of under 1 second,
we're not trying to blow anybody's doors off, just trying to make a universal standard here just to make sure. So all these high readies and low readies, the standard for us is under 1 second.
Using 0.8 to 1 second and add that to the average reaction time of 0.5 to 0.3 seconds, you have on average 1.05 seconds to 1.3 seconds to make what's probably the biggest decision of most people's lives and land a shot. Of course, that's compounded by how much time you actually give yourself to see a portion of the room you're looking at. For example, as I'm approaching the threat area and I see a target that's about 1 foot off of the hard corner, my very next step towards the threat area means that that target is now completely out of view and I have lost the opportunity to engage that target. Now, for you to understand how difficult this is for yourself, you need to first determine at what speed you could cross the threshold and engage a target inside the room. Use a target. If you don't have a target, pick something that's about the size of the A zone as your target. I'm using a mantis. If you don't have a mantis, make sure your weapon is clear and you'll just have to use the honor system. Back up away from the room where you can't see inside the room, and then go ahead and move towards the threat area and conduct a ready up drill. After you do that, continue to rep that, place the target in different locations throughout the room and reset, and you will develop a baseline foundational speed for which you could cross the threshold and engage a target inside the room. The problem with that is that you will begin to develop a range mentality. And the issue is that you know where the target is, you know the layout of the room, you know all the furnishings, and you also know that you are engaging this target. All of those things make your time to the target faster than what they would likely be in a real world scenario. Once you figure out a foundational speed to complete that task, you need to create an environment inside the room that more closely replicates real life. Now, most people will be trying this in their own house, so there's no way that we can't know what the room looks like, and most likely won't be able to change around the furnishings or make it look much different, but there are a few things that you could do. First is have somebody else place a target inside the room for you. Not knowing where the target is going to make your ability to apply marksmanship more difficult. The next thing that you could do is have that person make that target a shoot-no-shoot target. Not knowing where the target is and not knowing if you will actually need to engage the target is all going to take you more time before you actually get to the point where you can deliver the round. The next thing that you could do is have somebody place targets inside the room that you haven't seen before. Not knowing what you're looking for is also going to add time to your ability to process. Then something that I can say is really important in law enforcement is making these targets a shoot-no-shoot target. Not knowing where the target is, not knowing what the target looks like, and not knowing if you'll actually need to engage the target means that you're going to have to actually take more time to process what the target is holding before you actually engage. Or you could do what I did, which may be the easiest choice for some people, is I gave my son a choice between an airsoft pistol and a cell phone, and he randomly placed himself in the room, and I conducted a threshold evaluation and tried to complete the engagement process as I was walking by. And really the point is that if you can't process an entire room, identify where the target is, who the target is, and whether or not the target is a shoot or a no-shoot target while applying the fundamentals of marksmanship, then surely you're going to have a difficult time delivering the round from this position here. If you're interested to see what moving to the crisis point looks like for part 2, subscribe to the channel and feed the algorithm down below.